Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. Listen, I have my own podcast. I have my own podcast studio. I don't really care about those. What I really care about is the Real Nerds podcast, the best podcast in the universe, in the multiverse, on all Earths, 616 and beyond. Listen to it. Subscribe right now, and listen to this episode. Listen to all the episodes, but especially listen to the one that I'm on. It might be the best. Thank you, guys.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
This is Real Nerds Podcast, and for over 10 years, we have seen a new movie and podcasted our experience to the world. This week, we braved adventure in places that are uncharted. Joining me this week is Brad.
What's up?
And Zach.
Hello.
So, although we're a movie podcast, I feel that I know quite a bit. And so I'm going to give you guys some marriage advice, okay?
Oh, that'll be useful for me never.
Yeah, so
I think it's actually going to come in use for me now in my life. Jesus, thank you, Ryan.
So I'm gonna take you on a journey with me. So as you get older, as we are, I'm
never going to get old man.
Yeah, you want to set budgets for yourself, and you want to let your partner know what you're doing with said budget.
I'm laughing because I already know this is going.
So. I have money I put aside for comic books, and yesterday I was out and about with my kid, and we went and saw Uncharted and went to the Alamo. And before we went there, I went to the Mile High Comics Superstore, and lately they've got some new stuff in, and so I'm there, and I buy my like $12, $13 worth of comics. I'm really just trying to round out my Satana collection. I only need like 2 more comics for it. And I'm getting ready to leave, and it's like I've spent like $13, and I'm going do, and they have a table set up of new arrivals, guys, brand new stuff. They haven't even priced it yet. It had just walked in the door. And that's when I saw it. A Jack Slater talking action figure. And I go, man, that's really cool. And it kind of looks like Schwarzenegger. And I was thinking, man, is it actually Schwarzenegger saying the lines, or is it the guy they got from Mortal Kombat 11? I don't know. And so I asked the guy, I said, how much is it? And he goes, and it's like $70.
Whoa.
I'm like, cool. I'm still within my budget that I had for myself. So I got my Jack Slater talking action figure, and I go out to dinner with my wife later that night, and she's talking. She said, "Oh yeah, really cool, Ryan," because you guys know how much I love Last Action Hero. I mean, Brad and I single-handedly got that movie released on Ultra HD.
Excuse me, I was on that episode too. I think I had some small hand to play.
We're obviously the biggest fans.
Didn't.
Yeah. So I'm just talking to my wife, and I told her about it, and she says, "Oh yeah, cool." She doesn't give two flying fucks, but she supports my stupid spending until I tell her how much it is.
Yeah, that was the rookie mistake.
Yeah, so guys, when you go and you're going to spend money, don't tell your wife you spent $70 on a action figure from a box office flop. Okay, I'm just saying.
From more than 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's my advice.
That wasn't even that was like a doll, right? That's like a
no. It's
7-inch...
like no, it's like 16 inches tall. It's huge.
It looked like a full action figure, but I showed Malia that post and your wife reacting to it with that GIF, and then you pretending to be anonymous through our homepage. Not so unsuspiciously.
No, my wife, she doesn't care.
$70.
I didn't get any more comics, and I can't get them next week either. But
I know a way I could be stupider than you, Ryan. I know of an absolute way I could do it, because that action figure could be worth way more money down the line because of the cult phenomenon around that film, and the fact that very few toys probably were produced as a result of its flopness.
I did look on eBay, and there's just the box alone is $50. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the Schwarzenegger doll has to be at least $25, right?
Yeah, and that means it could only go up. But if I were to spend the full $200 for that Ingmar Bergman box set on Criterion, that would be the dumbest decision I'd ever make with my money. And if I were married, I would definitely get scorned for that, because she'd be like, "We can't even watch these movies. They're not interesting enough." Like that. Yeah. So I think you made a fine purchase. $70 for a toy, objectively, though, is kind of crazy. But
yeah, I'm a fan of that movie, and yeah, $70 for a single figure.
It's for a toy.
I mean, he's the talking figure. He doesn't come with any accessories. He's,
it's
like, how articulate is he?
It has like 4 points of articulation. I mean, it's pretty sweet.
It's not to denigrate your love for the movie, but it is a toy.
No, I get it. Really, the only reason I got it is because, I've never seen it before. And
I don't blame you, because, like, how many do you think they produced for that movie?
Oh, probably thousands. They spent so much money on marketing for that movie that, I mean, I know they're hard to find. I did look on eBay, and they go anywhere from like $60 to $100. So, I mean, they're not common. And
the rest are like ET games in a landfill.
Totally. And I know the manager there, Dave, and I got one, and the box was all messed up, and he got me one that they had two of them, and he got me the one.
Sweet, I can get one.
Yeah, he got me the near mint box though, so that was nice. So yeah,
do they still have a bunch of like random Disney DVDs stuck in there, Ryan? Because I kind of want to go up there.
But it's all the Disney Treasure ones. They're like $200 each. Which
for $289, I still haven't bought it yet because I'm waiting till my birthday. But like that, for $289, I can still get that little Costco set. So I don't get the tins, but I get just the box. And
yeah, well, I mean, which one do I have? I think it's Chronological Donald 4 or 3. It sells used like for $500. Because that was one they only made, I think, 50,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Disney collectors like me, I mean, they're never going to give them away. That's obviously what drives the price. So
yeah, they need to re-release those or put them on Disney Plus, because isn't that why they put a streaming service up in the first place? To put all this. Yeah, shit?
Right. I forget the website, but there is an actual website devoted to how Disney Plus changes films for streaming, and how they re-edit scenes and stuff. And it came to my attention because Kellen was watching Lilo and Stitch this week, and there's a part in it I go, that doesn't look right. So I put in my Blu-ray, and yeah, it's just like really subtle, but it's the scenes cut quicker. On Disney Plus, they trim a couple like seconds off of it.
Why? Was Stitch showing his penis or something? What the fuck?
No, he's violent, guys. And yeah, so
Cartoons can be violent, guys. It doesn't need to be with a gun, but they can be violent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why if you see something, I'm telling you, streaming isn't the way to go.
No, it's never been the way to go. There's off mic chatter you and I need to have about people trying to figure out why isn't this on DVD, and I'm be like, because there's no market for it, guys. Enjoy your obscure fandom. Like,
yeah.
Hey, remember when we rebuilt the show so that we could talk about the movie right off the bat?
Yeah, that's true.
But you
made a mistake inviting me back.
My playful banter, Brad. I want people to see us as more than just podcasters. I want them to see us as people.
Oh no!
Okay,
I thought you had a great action figure intro. That was fun for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the obscure Disney stuff. You're losing this guy too. So
okay, just kidding. Fair enough. Welcome to the Ryan and Zach show. No Brad's allowed.
Anywho, this week we saw Uncharted. Zach, do you recommend Uncharted?
I do. Yeah, I got a fun adventure movie with Mark Wahlberg goofing around and Tom Holland mixing drinks like a badass. I enjoyed myself. Go see this movie. It's fun.
It's a treasure map. He does not say that in.
Say hi to your brother for me. Oh wait, you can't. He's dead.
Or is he?
Ooh.
Stay tuned for spoilers.
Yeah.
Brad, do you recommend Uncharted?
Yeah, I guess it's fun. I never played the video games, so the movie was completely, my first experience with Uncharted entirely. Right off the bat, I thought it was a remake of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. About halfway through, it's fine. Everyone's charming. I don't think that the adventure was that interesting. But it's just a good passing of time movie, I think, for me.
Ryan, am I the only? Does this mean I have a one-up on Brad? Because I've actually played Uncharted games.
Oh, look who's so special!
Yeah, I think, dude, this is weird. The reboot Zach suddenly has video game experience.
This movie is lots of fun. I recommend it as well. As a fan of the games, and I've played them all, it's an interesting take, and it kind of goes back to Uncharted 3 has kind of an extended origin story for Nate, and it has some elements of that. It has some elements from 4 and the first one. It's lots of fun. Here's a trailer for Uncharted.
I've been dreaming about this my whole life. Magellan's gold. It's the biggest treasure that's never been found. 5 billion, easy. So when do we start?
Yeah, put that in your ear.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear you. I'm sitting right next to you.
Your brother believed that there was a final piece.
Wait, you know my brother Sam? What else aren't you telling me?
You have no idea who you're partnered with.
Sully! Hurry! It's gonna take a little longer than I thought, kid. I assume we're 50-50, right?
50-50? You get 10%. That's me being generous.
Wow.
Let's find some parachutes.
What?
Unless you know a better way to jump out of a plane.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry! Oh, crap! Come on!
500 years ago, my family found the fortune and was betrayed. So much blood.
You're doing great, Gene.
This ain't over. Hey, you still with me? Barely!
What's with the cat?
She's just for you.
What?
Life seems super sad.
I'm not going to keep this thing.
Exclusively in movie theaters.
Yeah, so Uncharted follows the adventures of Nathan Drake, who is kind of a small-time thief, and then Sully meets him at a bar. Victor Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg, and says, "Come with me on an adventure." And he's like, "Fuck you, old man." And then he's intrigued, and then he goes on the adventure.
Mark Wahlberg's old now. Isn't this great?
he was originally cast as Nathan Drake, man, like 10, 11 years ago, and I could never see him as Nathan Drake.
Don't mention who was supposed to do it, because then James will start beating the shit out of everything in his house.
No, I don't mind Mark Wahlberg. I enjoy some of his films, but he doesn't strike me as a Nathan Drake kind of person.
No, he doesn't. But I would have wanted to see Joe Pesci as Sully. That would have been interesting. But no, yeah, and thankfully David O. Russell didn't touch this. I'm actually kind of glad that they got somebody like Ruben Fleischer to do it, because he has good enough momentum with an action movie and an adventure kind of feel. So, and he did an efficient job.
As I was watching it, I was thinking, this movie, like, this was hard to make all these years. Like, the beginning of it.
Go ahead.
I was saying, like, about 2/3 of it felt very small and contained, and when they got to the finale, I was like, oh, well, this is where all the money went. Like, is this what made it hard to make? Because yeah, it didn't seem like a difficult movie to put to like, as a filmmaker. I just didn't see like what was really holding them back. Like, it seemed like an easy movie to make to me.
I think they couldn't settle on a tone, and I mean, I haven't read the other scripts. But I think Ruben Fleischer came in and pitched the right idea. I mean, you touched on The Last Crusade. Raiders of the Lost Ark is his favorite film. So it definitely has Indiana Jones vibe to it.
Yeah, the whole missing brother that was hired beforehand is just like Sean Connery getting hired by Donovan and then disappearing. So
I mean, but at the same time, I think it's really fun. And it's like them solving the clues and going through the church in Barcelona and ending up in a nightclub and stuff. I think it's really fun. And yeah, I mean, Tom Holland is, I mean, I wasn't sure about him as Nathan Drake, but he's charming enough and fun enough that he pulls it off. And I mean, the movie's, I know I had a lot of fun watching the movie, and so did my little kids. So I it's just good times.
I feel like it's a film that I struggle with this, Ryan, because I never know how to set the bar when it comes to video game movies, because I feel like fans of these games are always going to find a way to nitpick. Have you heard any nitpicking on this?
No,
one?
In fact, I mean, the cinema score for it is a B+. So
that's not bad at all.
I think people really like it. I mean, more than critics, but I don't give a flying fuck what the critics think. So
well, and I think that I did read some of those reviews after getting out of the film, and I think that their issue is that it did nothing to distinguish itself from any other action adventure movie. But I'm like, yeah, but it didn't have to. It just had to be fun. That's all it had to be. Like, because you're never going to make a film that will touch the level of excitement you get playing the game. But this comes pretty fucking close to just entertaining me and making me enjoy it. So,
the airplane set piece is straight out of the game. I mean, it's I mean, I thought it was cool. It opened with that, then kind of flashed back to get you ready for the adventure, and they even had the Indiana Jones kind of style maps, where they're bouncing from
and
place
they
to place.
Looked cool. They didn't look like they didn't look like stupid with super high tech stuff. It literally felt like a pulpy. It had a pulpy feel to it, which I appreciated. It didn't have to have that, but you can tell that he likes the adventure films that Spielberg made as an homage to those other ones. And so like I get the sense that everybody had fun making the movie, which, I mean, to be honest, it was very refreshing just to kind of watch a new story unfold without any pre-established stuff. Like, it's brand new. We're trying a new franchise, and everything clicked for me the way I wanted it to. I'm glad that they put a mustache on Wahlberg by the end of it, but I wish that it happened sooner. But
and I think there's some shocking parts in it. I think Antonio Banderas is.
His throat
death
slitting?
was really shocking.
I was like, please let blood flow out of this, but I remembered it's PG-13. I was like, that's not going to happen.
Does that happen in the game, or like the villains created for this movie? Like I don't.
The villains are for the movie.
Okay. Like what's the game villain? Is there a villain?
Well, yeah, there's several.
So Chloe.
Yeah, actually, Chloe's actually the bad guy in the second one. Well, she starts out as helping Nate, but then she double crosses him.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I can't remember their names. But at the end, in the tag scene where he's given the map to Nazi Gold, that's from the first game, where you find a submarine, a German submarine in the middle of the rainforest, and he gets mixed up with a gangster, or I guess I don't know what you'd call him. But yeah, no, it's and then I mean, the nerd in me loves in the film. They find this gold that they're looking for. Well, that Nate and his brother Sam, who supposedly died, were spending their whole lives looking for it. Then when Nate gets it, and they pull the ships out of there, and they're flying around, and when he puts on the holsters, they play his theme from the Uncharted 3, which is really great. And it's kind of has a nice hero, thing to it, where it's now he's kind of Nate Drake. And it was fun. And the guy who voices Nathan Drake is in it too. He's
Nolan North.
Yeah, he's the guy when Nate and Chloe come out of the ocean.
And he's just on a beach chair relaxing.
And he says, yeah, that's kind of happened to me too.
I put that together without even knowing. I was like, this seems like a weird interaction to have. Like, oh, it's probably the guy who voices the character.
Yeah, his voice is really unique and very recognizable. He also he does Deadpool in the video games too. But yeah, no, I just had fun with it. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and it looks like everybody else agrees with our standing, because it seems like it's making enough money to justify a sequel. Which I would love a sequel. I think I would love to continue with these adventures with these guys.
I mean, they tease it at the end, so I kind of feel like I'm owed one.
Yeah, I mean, it literally ends where I'm guessing the second movie is going to pick up. So.
You didn't say that at the end of the Power Rangers movie, Brett, did you?
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I'd take another one of that Power Rangers.
Yeah, you feel cheated that you haven't gotten one yet?
I mean, I still feel cheated. I didn't get a sequel to Super Mario Brothers from 1993. So
you're getting one. There's one coming this year.
It's not a direct sequel.
It's not the same thing.
I need to know what's happening in Mushroom Land.
No, the Super Mario movie is fucking garbage.
Two of the three leads in that film are dead, Brad. How are they going to try to continue it?
That's why I'm so burned. I'm never going to get it.
Is Luigi Mario just living alone, depressed that his brother and his main nemesis are dead?
Hey, maybe Bob Hoskins went down a warp pipe and he's just stuck in level 8 somewhere for eternity.
They bring him back like Ivan Wright. They bring him back like Harold Ramis in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Exactly.
He just smiles and nods at John Leguizamo. You can bring you can bring the Koopa song guy. Oh God, who the fuck was it? In Super Mario Brothers, who's singing the protest songs and then he gets turned into a Goomba.
Oh, something Nixon.
Oh, Mojo Nixon. Yeah, Mojo
Nixon.
Yeah, is Mojo Nixon still around? Maybe we can get him and he becomes a more important character or something.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm looking if Mojo Nixon is still alive.
No,
yep,
everything that's associated
with
with that movie can never show up again, and I'd be happy.
You are a thief of joy.
A joy thief. Hey, Ryan, be careful.
I still can't believe you like that movie that much, Brad.
Be careful, Ryan, or that will be your thief's end if you steal joy from him. That'll be your thief's end.
Yeah.
It's an Uncharted game.
I think it's fun, just like this Uncharted movie.
Sure.
No, I think Uncharted was a little bit more palpable than Super Mario Brothers. I'm sorry, Brad.
It's not even close.
It's ridiculous to think in 93 that you can make a Mario Brothers movie that's exactly like the game. The technology wasn't there.
No.
Well, I don't think you have to make it exactly like the game. I think you just have to make a competent movie, and I'm totally down.
Brad, the technology wasn't there and the interest wasn't there.
Have you watched the director's cut yet? It fills in all the gaps.
I have.
Everything that was unclear about the movie is solved in that director's cut.
I need to watch this director's cut, apparently.
No, you don't. It doesn't change a lot.
No.
There's just more of it.
Wait,
And the movie's
just
already
more
like, what, an hour and 40 minutes long? Jeez.
Yeah. Hey, it made a fun episode during the pandemic.
Oh, God. There's some movies I always see again. I say, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. And Mortal Kombat Annihilation is one of them. And it's so bad. I will say Super Mario Brothers is better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
I streamed it. I don't think I finished it. It was so, like, the opening scene right out of the gate was just...
Oh, man. It's brutal. I haven't seen it probably in like 15 years, but I got that steelbook that came with both of them. And I said, man, maybe I'm too hard on this movie. And I'm not. So bad. And I was counting. I lost count because it was more interesting to do this count than watch the movie, of how many people had shocked looks on their faces after they fell down. It's a thing in the film of someone who doesn't know how to direct. Just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to see Uncharted. Uncharted's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out Uncharted, guys.
Hey, speaking of Uncharted, this is the big Hollywood comeback for this week. Tom Holland's just killing it, boys. First it was Spider-Man. Now it's Uncharted.
Is he the most popular actor in the world right now?
Probably. Uncharted over the 4 days is going to make $51 million, which is the biggest opening this year by $20 million.
What was the previous holder again?
Scream at 30.
Yeah, that tracks.
And the industry is stoked because they were pegging it to make 35 to 40. So they go, oh, he is popular.
So they're gonna greenlight all the other PlayStation movies featured in that animated intro at the beginning.
That'd be sweet. I'd see a freaking Horizon one. That'd be awesome.
God of War movie.
That makes sense too.
What was the other ones in there?
There was Horizon, God of War. Did I see Ratchet and Clank? I think
was Spyro in there. Was Spyro in there?
Well, they're Bungie now, so I don't think they're exclusive to PlayStation. So I don't know if they'd do a movie of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think of what other PlayStation properties would be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been so out of the PlayStation game for like a decade.
So you're not cool? Jeez.
It's true. I only play Nintendo.
Is Jack and Daxter still popular?
I know that's the one Tom Holland says he wants to do.
Jack and Daxter? Fuck yeah. I'd watch him run around with a fucking little weasel. It'd be dope.
Yeah. Man. Trying to think.
Steve Buscemi better play him, the weasel.
I mean, Spider-Man's a PlayStation exclusive, so.
That is true. Well, we know the reasons why. Also,
well,
Sony
actually,
needs to
I
give
know
out
they've
better
never
residuals.
announced it, but I'm pretty sure Marvel allows Spider-Man to be PlayStation exclusive, so he could be. It has to do something with the MCU deal, would be my guess.
I feel you.
But yeah, no, I mean, I had fun at Resident Evil and now Uncharted. So, but number 2 was Dog with Channing Tatum, which also made more money than they thought at $15 million.
Never underestimate the power of a hunky man with a dog. It'll generate some major box office from several unrecognized categories in this world.
But also big news in its 10th week in release, Spider-Man actually gained 8% in its box office revenue. It did not drop a percentage. It made $8 million this weekend, 7.7, and then by the time it's done, it's going to be close to 9 million for the President's Day weekend. Can't stop Spidey. The Whip.
The Whip.
I'm surprised Jackass has cooled off so quickly. You know, those movies, didn't do Spider-Man numbers, but they always seemed pretty popular.
They used to have weight. I don't know if it's because Jackass hasn't released a movie in close to over 10 years. So maybe the cachet for it has dwindled for younger audiences, because that third one came out only 4 years after the third one, so it wasn't like a huge gap in between.
Yeah, I mean, there's still Bad Grandpa, so that was like another 4 years.
Yeah,
so it's not a full decade, but still, I'm just like, I didn't think the audience would drop. Like, it's not like, they only got better each time, so I'm surprised that it cooled off that quickly.
Yeah, it still made like 50 million though. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, 3 did like over 100 million. So it's just,
I know, but I mean, a movie like Death on the Nile is not even going to come close to that amount. So,
oh no, Death on the Nile is going to bomb. Looking at these numbers, yikes! Dropped 50%. Jesus. Yeah, that's a wait for video for people, I guess. I'm glad that Licorice Pizza is holding its numbers pretty steadily, though.
Give people a reason to go to the movies, they'll go.
Mm-hmm. Like Marry Me, it gained +1.
My mom said that movie's horrible, so I'm guessing it's really bad.
Your mom didn't go to Uncharted, but she went to Marry Me?
No, she streamed it on Peacock.
Ryan's
my
mom, why? Go to the theater.
My mom's
for
not
Marry
a big movie person.
Oh.
So
Marry Me.
And my mom is really nice. So she's one of those people that will watch a movie and go, "Oh, that's fun." You know what I mean?
Oh, they did it.
She told me Marry Me was a piece of dog shit. So I mean, I'm embellishing what she said, but she didn't like it, which is funny that my mom, who's super nice, would be, that movie was awful.
Son, Jackass Forever is Schindler's List compared to Marry Me.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Way more artistic. No.
This
Sing 2.
This is the big news story of the week.
It's real news.
I don't know. There really isn't one.
I feel like there was, but yeah, I can't think of anything.
I mean, Francis Ford Coppola is dissing superhero movies again.
Is this like a weekly thing where the media will find like another prominent director and just get their thoughts on the Marvel or Star Wars universe so they can get some headlines?
It has to be. And I don't know. I just think it's really fresh from someone like Scorsese, who says they're all the same when all he does is make gangster movies. I mean, come on, dude.
That's not all he makes. He's made 7 gangster movies out of the 20 films he's made all told.
That's almost 50%.
That is not. And you need to watch other films that he's made and not stick to those genres. I'm gonna say something, because I saw a tweet that made it put into perspective for me. It is very discouraging to see that people are only focusing on one comment Scorsese made based on his opinion, rather than looking at the fact that he has built a wonderful body of work of cinema. We shouldn't really care about his opinion on superhero movies. We should just enjoy superhero movies and appreciate what art has been given to us by all.
Wow, Zach, I didn't know arguing. That got under your
I'm tired.
So much.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people making fun of Scorsese. Guys, he's been a filmmaking legend for years, as is Spielberg, who, along with Lucas, said that the film business was at risk of imploding because of only blockbuster films. So they've dissed this too. They just didn't say superhero movies out loud,
which is ironic coming from Spielberg and Lucas, because those are the only movies they make.
Well, it's because it's their fault. They're the ones who created this mess. if you want to call it a mess, I call it a fun time at the movies. But
you don't have to suck up to Scorsese. He's not going to do you.
I understand he's not going to do me. I don't care.
And he's not going to listen to this podcast.
I don't care if he listens, because at the same time, I also think that maybe he should just kind of like tone his rhetoric down, because the film industry is not at risk at losing theatrical exhibition if you can keep a movie like Belfast and Licorice Pizza in theaters for that long. It means people are going to it. They're just not going into it en masse the way they're going to Spider-Man, but there's always room for them in the market. So everybody's freaking out for no reason, and these headlines blow things out of proportion for no reason. Sorry, it's been under my skin for the past week, and I'm tired of people.
I guess. Wow, easy, relax.
No. I'm tired of people making fun of a very good director who's done nothing but further the art of cinema and film restoration and keeping classic.
People aren't making fun
alive.
of him, Zach. Easy now.
They are. Yes, they are.
They're not making fun of him. It's just the only thing that always irks me with it is it comes across as pretentious and nearsighted.
Oh, I know. That's why I wish he would have changed his words or like reworded it differently, but there's no reason to diss the man. But for Coppola saying it though, isn't he trying to get $200 million to make a movie, like a fucking sci-fi movie anyway? Like,
he said he's paying it out of his own pocket so he can make whatever he wants. So
what's he paying it for? Wine money?
I'm sure he has lots of money.
I'm sure The Godfather pays plenty in residuals. There actually is a story regarding Sony apparently not paying their residuals to people because Ed Solomon says that he's getting kicked out of residual deals for Men in Black, which is shocking because that movie, I have to imagine, still makes money.
Yeah, I think he's been joking around because like he's accusing Sony of manufacturing, like cooking the book so that he can't get residuals out of it.
Yeah, that sounds like a Weinstein tactic. Because that's exactly what they would do. That's how they, I think that's how they scammed a lot of Kevin Smith's folks out of money.
Yeah, but this is Sony, so Sony's just adopting their method.
Yep, because Sony only has Spider-Man to go off of, and now Uncharted. But all their other, if they're pushing Morbius, it means that these are the only two things they have right now. But anyway, it is, I don't know, like Coppola, I don't know. I don't know what to make of him talking like that because he hasn't had a mainstream movie released in years.
Well, I mean, my only
just sits on a weird soapbox.
I'm with Brad. They'll corner these directors and be like, well, what do you think about, superhero movies?
Like they could care less.
But this is why these movies don't get nominated for Best Picture, is people like them, because they refuse to see them for any merit, where they discount what they've done, and making those movies is not easy. And for them just to say it's the same movie over and over again, to me, shows that they've actually never watched one, and that they're just biased, because Zack Snyder's Justice League is unlike any other superhero movie.
And some of the movies are sort of copies of their own movies. So,
yep. Joker is a ripoff of two Scorsese movies. So
if those movies don't work, then I guess your original movie doesn't work. So,
yeah,
no, and Joker works. Joker made a lot of money.
I didn't say it didn't. I've
always been in the camp that the Godfather films are super overrated anyways.
Yeah, I appreciate that first one at least. I can't say I go back to them. I don't go back to, I'll rewatch The Irishman before I watch the Godfather movies. The Irishman's interesting to me, but the Godfather has a lot going for it, and if you're willing to sit with it, it does reward you. But it's not like I'll probably pop in an MCU movie first before I decide to actively go back through that trilogy.
You know what news there was that we didn't cover last week because we did the recording a day before is the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oscar nominations came out.
Not that they matter, but definitely some controversy there.
Yeah, I found it pretty interesting to see what got nominated versus ones that didn't. First of all, it's kind of Ryan was alluding to, once again, Marvel gets snubbed, particularly in Spider-Man No Way Home. The best picture lineup as it stands is Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley. I'm sorry, Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Yeah. I haven't seen Dune yet, but I guess I'm happy that it made it into that lineup.
Have you seen Coda?
No, not yet. No.
Have you seen Power of the Dog?
Not yet. No.
Huh. Yeah, that's the problem with the Oscars. Thanks for highlighting my point.
I saw West Side Story. I saw Nightmare Alley. I saw Licorice Pizza.
Oh yeah, no. But what
I
I'm
saw
saying
Belfast.
is they're so pretentious in their nominations. That's why people don't watch the fucking broadcast. Is cool. Coda it looks interesting, but it's on Apple TV. There's 10 people that have that. And they only get it when Ted Lasso's on.
And it had a week in the theaters to qualify.
Don't get me wrong. I agree. It's very exclusionary given the fact that they didn't want to at first work with people like Netflix and these streaming services. And now, since it's the only places making the films that they wanted to make, they're compromising the theatrical experience in favor of movies movies that are coming out of streaming services.
It's fine, but it's it's all about how you campaign too, because it's obviously not the best movies, because I'm just going to say Spider-Man because I know it so well, is the best reviewed movie of the year based on how many reviews there are and how many of them are positive. And Don't Look Up is at 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. So even though the people that vote on this that are part of the Academy,
which aren't critics, we should specify they aren't the critics circles.
But that's what I mean. And I always say the Hollywood Reporter puts out these really interesting articles every year called The Secret Ballot. And
it talks about what they did and didn't vote for.
Yeah. And every time there's always someone on there says, well, I didn't see this, but it's Pixar, so I voted for it. Because I haven't seen any of the animated films. And if you're in the Academy, you literally have one job, and they send you screeners. You don't even have to go anywhere. That's why it's a joke. It's how well you campaign.
It does seem that I appreciate that the ballot, the way that they opened up new membership, has allowed films like Drive My Car to get in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think someone like Andrew Garfield, I think he should win Best Actor because he's fucking incredible in Tick, Tick, Boom.
It's also kind of ridiculous too to expect industry people to vote on these properly when they spend 18 to 20 hours a day making them. So it's when are they supposed to have time to even watch all the nominees anyway?
They barely do. That's why they make the calls that they make. It's why nobody. I love The Irishman. Nobody was going to vote for that to win anything because virtually no one bothered to take the time to watch the movie, and probably for all the reasons that have been expressed on this show by other members. It's a long ass movie, but there's other nominees that I see here, Ryan, in the Best Actor category. I just watched Being the Ricardos. I would love to see Javier Bardem walk away with an Oscar for playing Desi Arnaz, because it's not a bad performance at all. But also Denzel in Macbeth. It's a solid lineup. I wouldn't be angry if any of these people won. I haven't seen King Richard yet, but I've heard Will Smith is really good in it.
I know, but my whole thing too is it should be someone who pushes themselves. And I think Andrew Garfield totally pushes himself in Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yeah,
I think it's incredible.
I'd have to imagine he's the favorite. Because it's either that or Benedict Cumberbatch with the goodwill for Power of the Dog.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Supporting has. I like J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos, but I don't know why he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He's fine. He's not. He's. I don't think he's a fun side character in the movie. I don't know if it's Oscar worthy. Kristen Stewart and Spencer, that works. Encanto's running away with some nominations, which is nice. I'm happy that Nightmare Alley found some love because I thought that movie would get completely ignored. So happy to see that it did.
I'm shocked that French Dispatch didn't get production design.
I know.
It didn't get anything. That's the shocker. That's the shocker. It got nothing.
Yeah.
How? And that wasn't that didn't have a terrible box office showing. But Coming to America 2 and House of Gucci and Cruella are all Oscar nominees for makeup and hairstyling. Actually, Cruella makes sense, and I guess House of Gucci. Coming to America. Okay, sure. Like I thought the movie was fun, but I don't know if it needed that. But yeah.
Yeah. So whoever campaigns the hardest.
Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, though, was Spider-Man No Way Home even really pushing for an awards campaign, Ryan? I can't tell.
Yeah, I thought the big deal was that they actually trying for Best Picture because they felt like it was popular enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anywho.
But hey, you can hashtag that. Was it like other Oscars hashtag? If you tweet the Academy, God, I wish I had it up. But yeah, no, go ahead.
Sorry, I read just before we came on that Cinderella is leading that vote. The Amazon one or something. I think it's the Amazon one.
Really?
For other Oscars?
Yeah. For the fan vote hashtag stuff.
Oh. A Cinderella movie from Netflix?
Yeah, so there's another Cinderella movie?
Yep.
How many of these are there? They seem all indiscernible. Maybe we feel about fairy tale adaptations the way Scorsese and Coppola feel about Marvel movies.
Hashtag Oscars fan favorite. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oscars
I like the Kate Blanchett Cinderella. I think it's really good.
Well, that one distinguishes itself being a Disney adaptation. It's or like the Snow White. There was there was a year when you had the Mirror movie and Snow White and the Huntsman. And Huntsman actually did some decent business, but Mirror like fucking tanked.
I don't remember Mirror. So
you know why you don't remember it? Because when you watched that trailer, you were like, I immediately want to forget this. Anyway.
Oh yeah, we also got a Rescue Rangers trailer this week.
Oh yeah, that was good.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Why aren't they high pitched voices? What the hell?
Yeah, that's odd.
I don't understand
why is
this.
Dale 2D or Dale's 3D and Chip is 2D?
Because Dale got in the trailer. He says he got the CGI makeover. It's funny. It's on the nose.
I've been saying for years, like a good Roger Rabbit sequel would be like 3D characters dominating the landscape while 2D is trying to find their way back in.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel
Roger
like
Rabbit
they might have
makes an
stole it from our
appearance in
podcast
that
again.
trailer too.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe they took your idea and just put it into Rescue Rangers, Brad.
I know. They just keep stealing our podcast ideas.
That's all they do.
We did say copyright Real Nerds podcast after we said it, right?
I think so.
Damn it.
Ryan, did we say that after we called the title for that collector sequel that we're never going to get?
I didn't. One day I'll
learn. Maybe that's why we didn't get the sequel, The Collected. Jesus. Oh my God. That was going to be a movie.
Anyways, sometimes the nerds chime in with their own segments. Let's have a listen, if there is any.
Hey nerds, come in here for another installment of Showtime, where I tell you about something cool I've been watching lately and recommend it to all of you. This week, I'm doing a little bit of a twofer, because I've been on a Star Wars kick lately, and I finally got around to watching Clone Wars Season 7 and The Bad Batch. And I've seen the Clone Wars, like, Seasons 1 through 5, within the last 10 years, I guess, but it's been a while, and I never got around to watching Season 6, but, the final season came out, I don't know, year and a half ago now, and finally got around to watching it, and it's okay. Like, there's some things about it that I enjoyed, and then there were some things about it that I was like, I don't know if you really needed to do that, because the way that, at least for me, that Season 5 ended, I was like, I think that serves as a decent jumping off point into Revenge of the Sith, and I know, based on what I've heard and read about Season 6, that they have a couple of plot points like that too, that kind of help tie everything together, but I was like, with Season 7 taking place basically right before and then contemporaneously with Revenge of the Sith, I was like, I don't know if I needed to know exactly what some of these characters were doing during the events of Revenge of the Sith, but whatever. It it's fine. It's like I said, there are some things about it I really liked, and some things about it I was like, I didn't need to know that happened. I kind of just liked thinking differently, whatever. But anyway, so my real recommendation this week is The Bad Batch. Season 7 of Clone Wars actually served as a little bit of a backdoor pilot for The Bad Batch, because you get to first meet them at the beginning of season 7. They're in I want to say 4 or 5 episodes, and then you meet up again with them in episode 1 of The Bad Batch, pretty much right where you left off in the Clone Wars. And The Bad Batch takes place toward the end of Revenge of the Sith, and then immediately after that. And you get to really see the transition in power between the Republic and the Empire, and what that means from a political and a cultural standpoint. And that was really cool to see. Of all the eras in Star Wars, I was like, this is probably one I was most curious about. How did, the Empire rise to power? How did the people feel about, the Republic being gone? Were they sad? Were they excited? Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Supposedly there's going to be a season 2 that's coming out this spring. If that's the case, I'm very excited. I really like the way season 1 ended, where, it was pretty emotional and poignant, but it was also kind of open-ended, and, yeah, it's really good. I don't want to say too much for you, but I really enjoyed it. I think you could watch it without watching season 7 Clone Wars. They give you a pretty decent recap of everything, and, yeah, some of the stuff that happens in the Clone Wars comes into play in the show, and then some of the things that happens in Rebels is also set up in The Bad Batch, because Rebels happens later. And I am starting Rebels right now. I've seen clips in a couple of episodes before, but I've never seen the whole thing. So I've started on that, and I'll let you know next time how it's going. I doubt I'll watch the whole season or the whole series in a week. Maybe I'll get through one season. I don't know, but I will check in with you guys about it. So anyway, please go watch The Bad Batch. Watch Star Wars, The Clone Wars if you want. They're both on Disney Plus. I know Brad said it before when he watched The Bad Batch that it kind of has a Mandalorian vibe to it, of this battle-hardened warrior adopting a child, and then they have to go on these different little episodic adventures, and people are after them, and they have to, so it is similar in that respect. The only difference is there's more people in The Bad Batch than there are, the Mandalorian is a loner until he picks up Baby Yoda. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. So I'll check in with you guys about Rebels next time. Also, please go check out the website. By the time this episode is posted, I will have written and posted a new article on the website about Star Wars. It's going to be pretty fun. So please go check that out, realnerdspodcast.com. And I will talk to you all next time. I will try to find something besides Rebels to recommend. But talk to you all next time with something. Bye!
Hey film buddies, follow me around Denver. This week at the Esquire Midnights, the movie is The Shining, Saturday and Friday. And if you're going to the Colorado Center 9 IMAX on Tuesday, the Real Nerds will be there to watch The Batman early. So if you're there, seek us out and say hello. And we'll watch, hopefully, a really awesome movie together. And that's what's going on around town this week.
Man, that's some clever stuff.
I don't know. I don't think I needed to go on that kind of a rant against Jack Benny, but I mean, maybe I was just feeling in a different mood in this new rebooted world.
Yeah, that's wildly inappropriate, Zach. Don't do that again.
I'm so sorry. I will never speak ill of Jack Benny ever again.
Next week we're seeing Studio 666.
Studio 666.
Interesting. Cool. I dig it.
Yeah.
It's see what a Foo Fighters movie's like.
And yeah, so until next week, I'll see you at the movies.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot. A real nerd can follow the plot. And a real
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. Twitter and Instagram, at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it.